Geography. So today we are carrying on sort of with our theme of climate. Today we're looking at how climate affects biomes, and we're finding out what a biome is. Because obviously, as you're probably aware from watching nature programs on the television or even holidays you've been on, certain climates encourage certain types of adaptations from animals and plants in order to survive there. And even though plant species or animal species are completely different, if they are in the same climate area, they adapt in a similar way. So that's sort of what we're going to be looking at today. So there's a short video to watch, so I hope you enjoy it. So as you can probably tell, I recorded the introduction to the geography lesson before I encountered lots of problems trying to download the video clip that you've just watched. So many, in fact, that after the 5th or 6th attempt, whereby it would only have downloaded 2 minutes, I gave up. So you need to find the world biomes and climate zones sheets in your geography section of your pack. And first of all, we'll go through the different biomes. So the only thing I objected to in that video really was that they used the word weather rather than climate, because it's the climate and the geography, but particularly the climate, that influences the biomes, not the weather. So we'll go down in order, so from tundra to taiga, down that way. So tundra, that is a type of biome where it's so cold that it inhibits tree growth. So trees generally don't grow there at all, and you don't really get any vegetation, probably nothing really above knee height there. Taiga is what we would possibly also call boreal forest, and that's below the tundra. It's where you get a lot of conifer forests. So particularly we can think of that being in the top parts of Russia below where the tundra is, and also in North America. Grasslands is kind of self-explanatory. That is vast expanses pretty much of treeless terrain, such as in the plains in North America and what we'd think of as the steppes in Russia. Temperate forest, if I'm completely honest with you, I'm not sure I understand the difference between temperate and deciduous forest, so I'll cover both these at the same time. They're the type of forest that we have in this country whereby the trees, most of the tree species will shed their leaves in the winter. So in autumn, they'll shed their leaves. Chaparral is a type of biome which is, it's a bit like in the Mediterranean, really, I suppose. So in the summers, they're hot and dry, and they're kind of mild and wettish winters. And these are characterized by evergreen shrubs, so like bushes that don't lose their leaves, and kind of short-ish trees. So trees that aren't anywhere near as tall as an oak tree. Desert is a biome generally defined by a lack of rain. Well, it is defined by a lack of rain. The biggest desert actually isn't on it, because the biggest desert is Antarctica, believe it or not. Even though there's lots of water there, it's all frozen. So, but the deserts on this, the desert biomes on this will be ones that have very similar climates. Obviously, Antarctica, whilst it would have a similarity in lack of rainfall, the temperature side of things would be very, very different. Scrub desert biomes would again be dry, but they would have slightly more rainfall than actual deserts. You would have enough moisture there, either coming off the sea and condensing and as mist, or actual rainfall, or possibly in other areas, and the water travelling there either underground or through overland rivers, and enough to sustain short bushes and small trees. Savanna is typically what we think of as in Africa, so it's a mixture of woodland and grassland, but generally the trees are more spread out so that their canopy doesn't kind of join together to block out a lot of light from the ground. If you think of going for a walk in the woods in our country, in a deciduous woods, generally in the summer you can't see the sky, because the trees grow so close together that their canopies kind of intertwine and block out you seeing directly up to the sky. In savanna, the trees are far more spread out, so you would be able to see directly up, so the canopies wouldn't interjoin. Rainforest, we'll be learning a lot more about rainforest after half term, because that is going to be our geography topic. The rainforest biome is generally characterized by very tall trees that are evergreen, and needless to say, a very high rainfall. Then we have alpine, and that's a biome that's altitude, so one that's quite high up in mountainous regions. That's characterized by, well, very cold winters. Quite often you get quite mild, warmish summers, but the weather can be interchangeable, but the climate is quite consistent. So the summers are quite sunny quite often and quite warm, and the winters are quite harsh. The soil's generally very thin, so you get shallow-rooted trees, a bit like pine trees. It's kind of a bit similar, probably, to tundra and taiga. So you do get some trees and some alpine flowers and meadows, so lots of grasses and flowers, some trees further down, and some low-lying bushes. Fortunately, though, you don't need to know all of that, but I thought it'd be quite helpful or interesting. The second map that you have shows the different climate zones around the world. You'll need this combined with your other map, and possibly, and definitely a third map, which you can pause the video for, which I'm just about to show you. So I'll put this map again at the end of the video so you can pause it and refer back to it to help you fill in your sheets. So the first thing you need to do is to use the map to help you identify the biomes and the climates for these regions. So I shall give you some help. You can rewind the video back to this bit if you need to. So when you pause it at the end, looking at your map, North Africa, that would be a part of your map where you would find Algeria and Libya. So it would be the top part of Africa. Northern Russia would be, again, towards the top part of the big bit that says Russia. And the other one that you might need help with, Eastern USA, would be the part of the USA where it's on the side where it will say Atlantic Ocean. The climate map, again, just look at them both and you should be able to fill this in without any problem. So I will post the map back up before we get on to the next task. So pause the video here and answer, well, don't answer the questions, fill in the table. Now with the coloured pencil, let's mark your answers. So we'll go through both the biome and the climate. So North Africa, it is desert and the climate is arid. Arid means really dry and hot. Northern Russia is tundra and the climate is polar, so really cold. India, it's mainly savanna, but it also has rainforest. If you've just put savanna, that is fine. If you've only put savanna, though, for the climate, you need to put arid. If you've put both savanna and rainforests, then it's arid and tropical. Central Australia is desert, and again, that is arid. Eastern United States is deciduous, and that has a temperate climate. That generally means not too cold in the winter, not too hot in the summer, and so does the UK. So the UK is the same as the Eastern USA with deciduous. So if you have time, then you can move on to the extension task, which is on the bottom of the sheet. For this task, you've got to imagine that we're out of lockdown, and you can write a postcard from anywhere you would like to be on holiday in the world. So just fill in the postcard with the prompts that you have been given. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson, and good work, Level 1.